All right, folks, this is Dustin Moret here, and I got Peter joining me from Luminosity.
Oh, you're shaking my hand.
You want me to shake your hand?
No,
I'm pulling
yet.
a demon on you, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry,
I
bro.
that. I was like, what?
Nah, dude. We'll do it. We'll get it right at the very end,
the very
okay?
end? Okay.
All right. Anyway, so basically, I got Peter here. He's from Luminosity Gaming. Unfortunately, this comes after his tournament exit, losing to Tempo Stone in the lower bracket. But I felt it best to kind of like rewind and just like start forward and just go from there. So obviously, coming from this event, you've made some changes. You know, you went straight into SWC right after the changes. Didn't really have a lot of time to adjust. Didn't go so well for you. But I heard you made some more changes since then before coming to this event. Maybe talk about those a little bit.
Yeah, Devil Walk was originally supposed to call. He didn't really want to do that anymore after like 3 or 4 days, so we went to Lex. He was actually going to call before we picked up Devil Walk, so it was fine. He's actually doing really well. You know, we're still just got to work on it. He's a new caller. He's called before, but he's got to, get back in the groove. He actually called great at this event.
Right. So obviously, the way you start off this event was you were playing against Navi in the beginning of the group stages. A team that you met at ESWC lost on Inferno, though you actually had a pretty decent T side there. Your CT side struggled here. You're going to play them on, Dust 2 was one of the maps that you played. That was the second map. The first map, what was that? Overpass? Yeah. So, how'd you think the veto phase went? Like, how'd the maps go the way they went?
Well, actually, we knew what maps we were playing. We knew they would pick Overpass if they didn't pick Mirage, which we beat up Mirage, so their second pick was Overpass. So we actually studied really hard for them. But, they're such talented players. Like, they read us like a book, honestly, on Overpass, and they just beat us 16-3. But the D2 game, like, we really had a chance. We sort of blew it. Like, all the after plan, even on Overpass, even all the after plan situations, we just, like, played terribly. And even on Dust 2, the comms weren't as great, so it happens, man. It's LAN, and they're top 3 in the world right now, so
right.
It is what it is.
Right. So obviously, you moved down to like the lower bracket of the group play because we're using the GSL format here, and you played against Tempo Storm, which I actually got the cast, so I have a pretty good insight here. We started off with map number 1, which I believe was Cash, if I'm not mistaken. It seemed like neither one of you guys could have a good CT side. Like everyone was just going heavy on T side, and eventually went into overtime. Maybe you can talk me through like regulation first.
Well, our CT, we just started off really slow. Our comms were bad. We just weren't playing together as a team, so we went down, I think it was 8-0, 7-0, whatever it was.
Right.
Eventually it was 11-2. We won the last 2 rounds, 11-4 half, so we were just like, I was telling them, we got this, it's not a problem. We win the pistol, we're fine. I believe we won the pistol. Yeah, we won the pistol, and then we just rolled with it, It's just like we worked it methodically, really slow.
Right.
Like, we never ran into, like, stacks or anything. I pretty much read them really well. Lex did as well, but I called what they were doing almost every round.
Yeah, it seems like y'all had like more set stuff. Like they were just kind of rushing the A-bomb site really quick, kind of using like that envious Cloud9 type of fast A hit. You had like the more methodical, let me flush them out with, Molotovs, let me get them out of position, and it looked really strong. So obviously that went into overtime, and you kicked off overtime. Pretty explosive little ace there for the first round, and obviously you 4-0 the OT. Maybe talk me through how you were able to kind of get that OT.
Honestly, we probably shouldn't have won that first OT round. Stan got 2 fast frags in mini pit of Cash, and I snap flicked him. The second guy peeked me from side. I killed him. I killed Shazam Blind Heaven, and then after that was a 3v2, so we knew where they were coming from. I just got lucky in ace, but after that we just took it with momentum. I called what they were doing the next round. We just worked it real slow. We did a Fnatic A take, and we just worked it real slow. And the last round we knew they were low buy, so no need to rush into anything. So
it seemed like y'all put a lot more pressure on mid on the T side as well in overtime in comparison to regulation, which is more side execute heavy. Yeah. It's depressing watching it from your ace from Rix's angle because he had like a crazy crossfire. He almost killed you. You just didn't quite get the last bullet off. Yeah. It was actually really crazy. So then obviously, you win the OT there. We're going to move on now to Dust 2, a map that you had just played Navi on earlier in the day, a map that we felt like you could be pretty good on, with the talent that you have. Maybe talk us through that map, what went there.
We started off really well. We were up 5-0. They called pause. We lost that round, the next round, but then we won the next round after that. So 6-1, they have no money. We pretty much, we were stomping them, and they ended the half. We ended the half 10-5. We still felt great. I believe we won the CT side pistol. Yeah, we won the CT pistol. We were up 13-5, and then after that, it was just the miscomms, misplays, one misplay here, over peak here. It's just that stuff stacks up, and when a team's taking advantage of that and you can't stop it, you're gonna lose. And we just basically threw the game and handed it to them. I mean, not to take away from them. They won the game, but And then, yeah.
Seems like they really exposed your mid to B a lot. Like you had actually Lex make a stand-up play with like a hat trick one round, but other than that, it seemed like they kind of overrun it. Did you try to notice that and just try to adjust? It just didn't work out, or what?
Well, we sort of knew they were doing the mid B stuff, but we were also scared of their long take. Their long take's really good with the Roka leading charge. He's really good at coming out long, so we wanted to shut that down every time. And then we didn't. Individual plays didn't really step up, I guess. Like some people did, some people didn't. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying like when the rounds that you needed someone to step up, maybe only 1 kill instead of 2 kills, and that 2 kills is like crucial. The 1v3 automatic had won them the game, in my mind, because they gave them momentum. It broke our money. It won them the game basically. Yeah, it was really rough.
All right, so the last map was actually going to be Cobble, and this was just much different. Like the first 2 games, really close. We even had an overtime on the first map. Second map, almost all 30 rounds played, but Cobble, it just seemed one-sided through and through with CEVO-Storm CT. So maybe talk to me a little bit about what your struggles were on Cobble.
Yeah, we really just never could get a grip of the game. We started T-side. We should have won the pistol. It was a 4v2.
5v2.
5v2, yeah. And bad comms, terrible post-plant positioning. It's going to lose you games. And so they went up 3-0. I can't remember when we finally won our first round. I think it was like 7-1, maybe something like that. But we just never could get a grasp. We would get entries, but then we would run into a site and not trade properly. So it just really bad half, 11-4 again. And then their T side was they just did really explosive 5-man trades, and it was almost impossible to stop them, really. They just had the momentum, and they just crushed us. We weren't really as prepared on Cobble. Like, we've only touched it like a couple times. No excuses, like I said. They played really well, but we just weren't prepared.
So obviously you've now both played Navi and Tempo-Storm. They're about to go head-to-head to try to advance that second slot inside the group. So since you've played against both of them, like just this tournament, maybe what do you think you're going to see out of that series?
I think Tempo might give them a run for their money, but I honestly think it's going to be a 2-0. They played Tempo played really well versus VP. So, I mean, they have that on their side, but Navi's top 3 in the world right now. They're not going to play any games. They want to win this, so.
So I guess the way I want to end this then is just kind of ask maybe what your team's looking forward to next, what are you guys going to work on? Just kind of give me a run through of what we can expect from your team going forward.
Well, we don't have that much time to really, we're going to look over stuff, but we don't to correct too many things because we have the Burbank qualifier next week for the majors. So we're going to keep our head up high, talk about a couple things. Obviously, all the after plans literally lost us this LAN. Just talk about that and just get over it. It's a new day tomorrow, right?
Yeah, right on. So. Well, I appreciate you, Peter, for coming and doing the interview. I'm not going to deny you, bro. We're going to do this.
Thanks,
all right, so thanks a lot. This is Dustin Moret from CEVO LAN, signing out until next time.